Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another makeup and movie Monday. It's Monday! So yeah, today I'm going to be doing quite a special video. I'm going to be dedicating this video to the wonders of Tim Burton. So if you are new to my makeup and movie Monday, it's essentially a video where I put on a full face of makeup and I talk about my favourite movies, my favourite genres, my favourite directors. This was inspired by one of my subscribers, Jane, so hello Jane. She kind of mentioned Tim Burton in one of my last videos and I was like, you know what, I really just want to talk about Tim Burton in my video because he is by far one of the most kind of interesting, strange, inspirational kind of directors that we have these days, and I feel like he's a director that speaks really, near to my heart because all of his movies are special in their own way, and I've grown up watching his movies and appreciating his movies. But yeah, I apologise in advance if you can hear a lot of background noise. It's a very windy day today. I can't keep my window closed because it will just be whistling noises, and I'd rather have a bit more air noise than whistling noises because they're very annoying. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. If it's your first time here, we have alarms as per usual. In my videos, I really wish I knew how to stop that, but yeah, my name is Ameena and every Monday I like to do a makeup and movie Monday. I'm inspired by Beetlejuice II, who is one of the coolest people on YouTube, and yeah, let's just get on with putting on the makeup and talking. My hat, by the way, is from a brand called Crafty Burrito. I found them on Instagram. I can link their page down below, and this hat is a beret. I can't wear hats very well, but I thought it would be perfect to wear in today's video because if you know the reference, then that's why you're here watching this video basically. So yeah, everything I'm wearing as well I'll put in the description below as well. So enough rambling because I've been talking for like 2 minutes straight, but yeah, let's talk about Tim Burton. So he is an American director, in case you weren't aware, who's been around since like essentially the 80s, and started out doing like claymation kind of movies, like animation kind of movies, and a lot of like home video movies that he's done. But his big break essentially was like Pee-wee Herman, which is for me one of the strangest movies that I feel that a director like him could ever make, but I think it's a lot of fun. It's not one that I would rate so highly in my kind of list of favourite Tim Burton movies, but you know, it's there, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of it's a kids movie and it's very like tongue-in-cheek and everything, so yeah, it's a great fun movie. But for me, I mean, how I'll kind of go about this is just talking about the favourite films of his that he's done basically, because that's how I talk. I talk about like my passions and my obsessions and things that I love a lot, and just kind of talk about kind of the inspiration that he's done for like a lot of, new filmmakers and kind of genres that he's partaken in. But my favourite movies by him has to be the first two Batman movies. Well, he's only done two, but the two Batman movies that he made. For me, I have always felt like those two are my favourite Batman movies. I know a lot of people obviously obsessed with the Christopher Nolan ones, and of course now we have Ben Affleck as Batman, not really my kind of thing, and obviously you have Robert Pattinson, who is going to be the Batman soon. But when I was really young and I watched Michael Keaton as, Batman and Bruce Wayne, I was just taken aback, and I feel that he is kind of the perfect combination of a Bruce Wayne and a Batman. I have a list where, well, not a list, I have like a mental list where there's the actors who have played Batman, the ones who are great as Batman, but the ones who are good as, Bruce Wayne instead, because I feel like it's very difficult for certain actors to be good at both, in my opinion. Like, it's just, I'm not going to talk about it in this video because it's a very long kind of thought process that I have, but for me, when I watch Michael Keaton as Batman, I feel like he's fantastic in both roles, and especially 1 and 2. Like, I grew up watching one a lot more, and I always, you know, a lot of people are probably going to hate me and I don't really care, but I prefer Jack Nicholson's Joker, because that was the Joker that I grew up watching. And as much as I love Heath Ledger's Joker, of course, and how extremely like amazing, like the amazing job that he did, I do feel like Jack Nicholson kind of is the Joker for me. And obviously he's done a dozen like hundreds of different roles, but for me he is my favorite Joker. And even like the second like Batman Returns, I would feel like, you know, who will ever beat Danny DeVito, who will ever beat Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman? Like I feel like them in those roles are just perfect in the sense of, because I've grown up and it's the nostalgia and it's the love that I have for the comics and the, you know, the love that I have for those films and the kind of whole gothic, you know, feel around it. I feel like that Gotham is like the perfect Gotham, because I've read so many of Batman, you know, kind of stories, and you feel and you see what Gotham is. And it's strange because in like the Nolan one, for example, that just feels like a city to me. That doesn't feel like it's Gotham, because it doesn't have that kind of noir kind of gothic type for me. I mean, obviously this is my opinion of this is the whole point of me talking about this kind of movies, is because they are what I love and my passion towards it. And of course it was those Batman, like the Batman movies, that got him on that higher pedestal where he is now. And then when he came out with Beetlejuice, for example, so in case you didn't know, that's what my hat is from at Showtime, which is one of the quotes from Beetlejuice himself. I remember watching it when I was really young, and obviously because I grew up, I was born in like the late 80s, and growing up watching a lot of these movies in the 90s where he was kind of on the top of his game, and watching Beetlejuice, I just grew up watching it and just being absolutely obsessed with Lydia and obsessed with just all the characters, because they were just so interesting, and all the characters are actually insane. And that includes like the, you know, the actual, like all the characters basically, they're all just mad in their own way. And then you have a character like Beetlejuice who comes and just completely 360s everything. And of course there's a lot of like dark themes around like death, and, you know, is there like, no, there's not really murder, but there's kind of like exorcisms and, you know, just weird wacky characters, which is what his movies are about. And that's why, like, when I grew up watching it, I was like, this movie is just amazing. And that's why I feel like a lot of his movies, they're all his style, because a lot of people say, oh, you know, he's only just makes one type of film, but that's his style. That's literally what, you know, like the movies that he makes, that's what he brings to the table. Like each director has a certain feel about the movies that they make. Like obviously a lot of directors that do war movies, or a lot of directors that do horror films, you know, and then with someone like Tim Burton, all his movies are weird, wonderful, gothic, insane, and that's what he does so well. And I feel with a movie like Beetlejuice, that is set in a kind of modern era but has like a major twist on it, he does it so beautifully. And the fact that he has Michael Keaton in it as well, the fact that he was, you know, Batman and then Beetlejuice, and then beforehand he was like a comedian actor, and I feel that Tim Burton really brought that out, like him as like an actor, which is just freaking amazing. And they're going to be making another one as well. I'm not sure how Beetlejuice 2 is kind of gonna work in that aspect, but I'm really intrigued to see what they bring, because you can either really mess it up or you can do like an amazing job. It's strange after like all these decades later that all these iconic movies are, you know, kind of making a comeback, because we just had, you know, the Coming to America movie, which I haven't seen yet. I've heard it's pretty decent, but I find it strange that all these actors coming back 20 years later looking so different, being kind of different actors but bringing the same character, if that makes any sense. But yeah, when it comes to like Beetlejuice, that really just changed it for me, because I mean for Halloween once I did dress up as Lydia. Not the most amazing costume I've ever done, but it was still a lot of fun. I'll show you a picture here of what I did, because it was a lot of fun just basically going through my wardrobe and finding a couple of clothing products that that I wear normally that would fit her aesthetic. And yeah, I feel, yeah, him, like Beetlejuice is one of his best basically. And another one that I like to mention a lot is of course Edward Scissorhands, and this is where we get into the whole like Johnny Depp love basically, because obviously Edward Scissorhands, and then we have Sleepy Hollow, and then we have Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest. I watched it in the cinema, and then as soon it was, I was like, I like musicals, honestly I do. Like some of my favourite movies are musicals, but honestly I could not deal with it. I don't know what it was, like again, that whole gothic aesthetic, beautifully, like, you know, set in London, and, you know, beautiful kind of sets and, you know, costumes, but it just didn't do it for me. It's been a while since I've watched it, and I might have to give it another go to see if it holds up, but I don't know if it will. But yeah, when it comes to Edward Scissorhands, I feel like that is a perfect setting for his style of movies as well. You have that beautiful big castle that he kind of was created in, and having Vincent Price as well just make a small cameo, which is fantastic. I just love the whole kind of idea around the whole idea of like the character, like this creature that was created who has scissors for hands. It's just such a weird concept, but you feel so sorry for him because he's an outsider, and then he's in this kind of town with all these more insane people. That's what I think Tim Burton does so well, is make insane characters amazingly interesting. Like no one in that town is sane. Like you have that really religious woman who is always playing the organ and, you know, saying, oh, you are spawn of Satan and stuff like that. I just feel characters like that really bring out a movie, because obviously all those women that end up flirting with him, and obviously in like a normal world there's no way that anyone would ever find someone like him attractive, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm just trying to choose what shadows to go for, because I thought I would kind of use something quite relevant to the theme of this of this video. But all the characters that you have, and of course every girl wanted to be Winona Ryder because her and Johnny Depp were like an item in real life. I'm pretty sure they were, I can't remember. But of course, like, her character is just a character that everyone loves and adores, and of course she's in Beetlejuice also. And I feel, oh my god, sorry, I'm going a bit over the top with the eyes. But when it comes to that type of movie, that is 100% him as a director. And of course I can't do this video without talking about Nightmare Before Christmas, and you know, that movie really just, I feel, changed a lot for, you know, cinema when it comes to claymation. Of course there was so many movies out before that in the 90s and early before that you know, stood the test of time when it comes to claymation, but I feel that movie is just, it's insane. Even when I watch it today, I get absolutely just kind of shocked and flabbergasted how beautiful that film is, and the painstaking hours that they take to create these characters, and, you know, to, you know, make them move the way they do, and just the timing and the music as well. Good old Danny Elfman, we know we can always rely on him for a good soundtrack. And even though, like, you know, their collaboration has been going on for decades, and of course you have the iconic, the music, and then you have like the music in Batman, like the theme song is a Danny Elfman song, which is just freaking awesome. But yeah, when it comes to Nightmare Before Christmas, obviously a lot of people think that he directed it, but it's more of like, it's his creation. So there are, you know, illustrations and the story that he's done to create this kind of amazing world. So I'm just having a look in one of my other palettes to see if there's a shade that I can bring towards it, because I'm trying to be edgy today, bring my gothic look out. But yeah, Nightmare Before Christmas, like amazing, beautiful characters, and I just feel that movie is every emo goth dream. And I remember going down like Camden and just seeing all these like counterfeit t-shirts of Jack and Sally and all these kind of backpacks that make me laugh, because they're obviously like fake merchandise, but every emo kid and every goth kid had, you know, Jack Skellington on there and Sally as well, and all the characters. And I just feel like him bringing these characters to life changed, you know, it's okay to be weird, it's okay to be strange, and that's what I love about his films as well. All of them have a kind of, you know, strange person kind of feel to them, whereas, you know, in a lot of films you're kind of mocked for being weird, you're mocked for being strange, but his movies, like they embrace the weirdness and they embrace the strange and unknown. And yeah, what else, what are we going to talk about next? And then yeah, Sleepy Hollow, again, a beautiful gothic movie that pretty much changed, I don't know, would you say it changed cinema, but it like changes the feel of gothic noir and just beautiful settings. Movies that I'm not so big on, I mean, I've mentioned Sweeney Todd already, and I don't know what it is. Obviously a lot of people will have a big passion for that film, and of course I love Helena Bonham Carter as well, because she is in a lot of his films, because obviously they were a couple, they're not anymore, but the fact that she was in a lot of his films, she's fantastic. I mean, she is in Sweeney Todd, and she's in Alice in Wonderland also, and she just does a great, she's like just playing her weird wacky self, which is always amazing to see her in these awesome roles, and the fact that they collaborated a lot as well. And what was she in? I can't remember if she was in, yeah, she's in Big Fish as well. Big Fish is one I feel is not as kind of, obviously because it's not a gothic noir type of film, it's a very different aesthetic and a different kind of scene, so I feel like that one is always kind of stood out just a little bit, but it's still a beautiful film, like beautiful characters and themes around it, and just being very strange and fun, which is what Tim Burton is. And then the Alice in Wonderland movies, I mean, I'm not a big fan. I haven't seen the second one because I just was not a big fan of the first one, and I know that shouldn't stop me from watching it, but I just couldn't really sit for it that well. Obviously the, you know, the animation and the effects are fantastic, but for me it was all about the original Disney movie, because that one was, you know, what I grew up with, and it's so strange. I actually you know, a few years ago they had kind of mentioned, well, it's been like an ongoing thing, that Tim Burton was going to direct a movie where Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman, and there was some, you know, problems between Tim Burton and Kevin Smith, and so they cancelled the production. I would love to have seen that movie. There's a documentary called The Death of Superman Lives, and the film would have been called Superman Lives because there's a graphic novel essentially where, you know, Superman gets killed by Doomsday and he arises, basically kind of like the stuff in the Justice League type of thing. I would love for Tim Burton to have directed that movie, because watching that documentary there was some very interesting elements to that film that I would love to have seen. Sorry, just don't want my mascara to run on my eye. I am going to quickly do my lipstick off camera because I can't talk and do my lips at the same time, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just finishing everything up, but yeah, when it comes to just certain different types of movies, like I went to the cinema to see the Dumbo movie that he had kind of live actioned, and I don't think it was too bad. I mean, I'm obsessed with the animated version, especially when it comes to like these Disney movies. I think he did quite a decent job. I think it was, again, a way for him to bring his weirdness to screen, to like a kid's story, which worked well. It wasn't the best, But when I was looking at his IMDb this morning, it just says the next movie that he's going to be doing is Beetlejuice 2, so who knows when that's happening. But I am looking forward to it because of course the first one is just so damn good. I feel like I need to watch it soon. It's been a while since I have watched it. But yeah, that was my TED talk on Tim Burton, and this look, I'm living for it. I mean, the hat kind of brings everything together, and yeah, I absolutely love this look. The eyes look great. I'm actually really happy with how everything has come out. But yeah, let me know what your favourite Tim Burton movie is, if you like him, if you don't like him, because I know there are people out there who don't like his style, which is fine, but change your mind please. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I film and upload every time I get a chance to. Don't forget to follow me on my social media because you can have a closer look at this look I've done just here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sitting with me and talking about my obsession on movies. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I've said that about 4 times, but yeah, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.